So as we go in this process, we can take small steps, very small steps, in order to promote our health. It's just simply talking. Just talk to the plant. How you doing? We over here, we see you. We know you got energy. We want some of your energy. That's how you got to talk to the plant. You got to feel on the plant. You got to treat them as in real life. It seems dumb and mundane, but I mean, I'm going to take the benefit of that positive energy from these plants. I don't know about y'all. So more misinformation. Misinformation. So they tell us that weeds are bad. Weeds are horrible for you. Well, in fact, weeds are only an indication of what your soil is talking about.
Yep.
That's all it is. So when we look at sorrels, docks, and horsetails, they are sure indicators that the soil is becoming too acidic. Everything is on this pH level. You always going to have base, you always going to have acid. That polarity is on life of plants, it's on your life, it's on animals' life, it's on all life. So when you're in balance, that's where you want to be to get the best benefits. So when we look at dandelions, what dandelions do is that they bring calcium from the deep layers of your soil up the top. We'll cut them dandelions, put all that poison in the land so you don't have no more dandelions.
Right.
And we just accepting what they say.
And it's just like the body's white T cells. Basically, that's what the dandelions are. They're the white T cells of the earth coming up, trying to reclaim the soil. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying?
Bringing it back to health.
And we giving artificial medicine, which is, like you said, the pesticides that actually make everything, you know, go into a recessive mode.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So even these plants in this soil has a natural immunity that's going to repair it. But if you keep on barbarian it with this artificial joint that they put on the commercials, buy your fertilizer. Why don't you know? That's all BS. They play with your emotions, they smiling. You see somebody smile this cheer, you're like, dang, I want to be like them. You deal with your struggles and all that. But we don't know their life story. They out there cheesing, oh yeah, do that. And you go get it and you killing yourself.
That's the point.
Next slide. Now we're going to hop a little bit back on the secret life of plants. Now, these plants are some bad language to show. These plants are even alchemists. These plants are turning phosphorus into sulfur, calcium into phosphorus, magnesium into calcium, carbon acid into magnesium, and nitrogen into potassium. And that's just a few of them.
Right.
They're moving. There's action here. There's life here. Move. Let's go. No, let's go to the next one. Yeah, let's do the next one. Now, refrigerators. Let's talk a little bit how we retain the health and the vitality of our plants. Because obviously, if you go to the grocery store, you're going to eat all them plants, or all them vegetables, or all them fruits. So you will need to know how to maintain the health of that. So what we come to find out is that there is a radiant light in these foods. Now, food placed in the refrigerator will deteriorate, but at a slower pace. Unripe fruits and vegetables in a refrigerator may actually increase the radiance as they slowly mature. So you put a ripe fruit in there, throw it in the fridge, it's going to take care of itself. Now, dehydrated fruits, or if you're a fan of canned fruits in the grocery store, get some canned fruit. Don't do that. Get you 99 cents a pound, fresh fruit. Gonna be probably even cheaper than that. And utilize the vitality in that. What you're gonna find out is dehydrated fruit was found by experiment to retain its vitality. If soaked in vitalized water, life prolongs life. Death does not promote life. Life promotes life. Energy gives energy. Dead people give dead people. It's very simple. Let's go to the next slide. Now, I mentioned a little bit earlier about these angstroms, which are unit measurements of small distances when we look at, say they want to do a measurement of a small crystallized salt. And they want to say, okay, what's the distance of the wavelength? Then they use angstroms. But what they come to find out is angstrom is also used in order to determine the expression of wavelengths. Now, you want your vegetables, you want your fruits, you want your foods to be between 8,000 to 10,000 angstroms. You don't want nothing less than that. Now, at the peak of their maturity, that's where they're going to be. And vegetables, if eaten fresh from the garden. Now, scientists know that by the time most vegetables get to the market in town, they have lost 1/3 of their potency. So as soon as we get it from the grocery store, we got to hop up on it. We got to hop up on, revitalize it with our energy or with these particular methods as we went over prior. Now, by the time they have been subjected to you cooking the hell out of it, they have lost another 1/3 of it. So now you're going to get it and ain't no good, almost ain't no good, you lost 1/3, and then you cook it and lost another 1/3. And we wanted that. Then on top of that, you got the pesticides on it. Well, hold on now, let's go back. Let's go. Alright. So, the point here, the essential point here is that you have to begin to understand that your food has a consciousness. Your food has a consciousness that you have to commune to in order to take helpful benefit of it. So this is why it's a secret, because they don't want you to live.
That's right. That's true.
Next slide. So vegetables are most radiant if eaten raw. You like it raw? You want to be raw? Eat it raw. 2 raw carrots being better than plateful or cooked ones. Now, there are certain differences and distinctions. There are certain contrasts. And when we look at the potato, which has a radiance of only 2,000 angstroms, which ain't talking about nothing in its raw essence. What happens is, if you bake that, or if you boil that, you can raise that with that particular vegetable.
Right.
Now, when you boil it, you can, reach it to 7,000 angstroms. Now, when you bake it, it can get to 9,000. So you have to understand what foods to cook, what foods to not, how to treat your food. You have to become a scientist with your food. But they tell you, oh, just go to McDonald's and get a cheeseburger, and it's killing you. So yes, newsflash, y'all, we got to start preparing our own foods.
Explain angstrom, so we already decided.
Oh, did you want me to,
We probably say angstrom.
angstroms? Well, I kind of had my pineal gland was kind of working today, and I knew I was going to have to explain that a little bit more in detail. So what I did was I went to the library for a brief moment and took advantage of their encyclopedia. And what we come to find out is that angstroms was a symbol for A, and it's a name in honor of the Swedish physicist Anders Johannes Angstrom, who made important studies in light. Now, remember when I said wavelengths with the light? Now, initially, angstrom is a unit of length used to measure very small distances. For example, the atoms in a salt crystal are only several angstroms apart. Now, wavelengths of light are sometimes measured in angstroms. The wavelength of visible light measures several thousand angstroms. Now, I'm going to pass this document along because so we can keep on moving. Pass that back. Y'all take a look at that. Now let's move on to the next.
I mean, you can even tell, like, within the words, looking at it etymologically, it has the word Anken in it. If it has the word Anken in it, that'd be a good thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, when we talk about eating raw, we too have to be knowledgeable how to eat raw. Now, if you're dealing with your legumes and your peas and your beans and your lentils and your chickpeas, which are initially between 7,000 and 8,000 angstroms when they're fresh. Now, if you get them things dyed, you're gonna die. That's simple. So dyed, so when they are dyed, they lose most of their radiance. They become heavy, indigestible, and hard on your liver. Eat raw. Let's go to the next one. Now wheat, which has a radiance of 8,500 angstroms, when cooked, rises to 9,000. Olive oil, found to have 8,500, and to be extremely long-lasting, 6 years after pressing